Hello Exiles, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to a new Path of Exile video. In today's video I'm just going to go over my Frostblade's Warden, and first thing I am going to do is I'm just going to hop into a map here and clear that out. Just got a shipment. And then I'm going to talk about what I think of Warden as a Frostblades user and just in general. And what the ascendancy has to offer, what I think about the changes in Frostblade since, oh boy, getting some graphical nonsense going on here. It is my first map, and I did actually have a crash with my graphics card earlier, so hopefully that'll sort itself out over the course of the map. But as you can see, we do perma-freeze bosses pretty easily. Get some stuff from that. I have my atlas is set up for, you know, getting Maven witnesses and getting Guardian maps and stuff, because I'm going to be doing Maven and Uber Elder here soon. Maybe on this character, maybe on my Molten Strike one. I'm not really sure yet. Haven't really put that much thought into it. So yeah, I don't think I did a very good job in setting up my 3 atlas trees. Like there was a lot of crossover in them. I should have made a progression tree and then went into one tree for, you know, earning currency, and then one tree for specifically progressing to my endgame stuff. So I should have made, you know, the Maven and like all the special map drops one, basically. I should have done something like that, but I'm not really used to that system yet. I didn't really play that much when it was introduced. Oop. Yeah, taking a lot of damage there. Yeah, we get a nice little damage steroid from Warden with the Unbound Avatar. It's something you can kind of just press and it'll give you 80% more damage. And also the tincture I'm currently running gives me 23% pen on top of like 128 or something elemental damage. So that's really nice. Oop, that hurt. Alright, I'll deal with this stuff later. But yeah, it's nice to be able to, like in situations like now, just being able to press a button and do a bunch more damage to clear things out quicker is nice. That temporal bubble is one of the things I really miss about Trickster, is just the ability to not be slowed by anything. Also, like when I'm doing altar farming, the altars that reflect back elemental ailments, I do kind of miss doing all of that. I'm not going to bother with that at the moment. It shouldn't take too long, but oh. I'm also not used to these being in here, so let's go ahead and get some extra value. I'm not really sure even exactly how to utilize these fully, I guess. Do I just kind of let them sit there and... Okay. So it looks like it goes after any time I get a, I don't know, rare monster or something. Do I have to wait for it to go? Not really sure. Okay. So I'm not super sure how that benefited me or how much that benefited me, but I don't really remember much about the mechanic. But there we are. I'm sure I got something out of it. So that is... Oh, got a little bit up here yet to clear. But the clear is pretty good. You know, I'm losing a lot of accuracy right now. But yeah, I have 90% chance to hit because I have the 32% less accuracy. But that's fine. Makes it a little clunkier than I'd like. So pretty much what you would expect from the build. Very good clear, pretty decent single target once you get the freezes on them. Kind of perma-freeze. Just going over the gear, I got Heat Shiver. I got a shield, which has some elemental element avoid, which I need to finish capping off. I think currently, yeah, I'm rocking 46% to avoid all, and then also 52% reduced duration. So I'm avoiding some of them, reducing some of the durations. It's not like a perfect system. Could definitely get me killed. I found this Eternal Struggle and I just slapped it on because it had some cold res pen and some crit, but most importantly it had attributes. One of the biggest challenges I've faced is intelligence specifically, and prior to getting this Lethal Pride, which I'll talk about because I got a hell of a bargain on this Lethal Pride. It was 85 chaos. Actually, I'll just talk about it right now. 1, 2, 3 5% chance to deal double damage nodes on this for 85 chaos was a absolute bargain. Plus I get some multi, I get some life, so I mean there's some stuff that's less useful, but overall that helped my strength. Oh, an endurance charge on kill is nice as well, so get that going. Some neat stuff there. Going through the rest of the gear, kind of low life on this ring, but you know, I needed the lightning resist and it gives me a lot of lightning resist. I don't even have the best on it right now. I have negative 12 chaos resist still, and that includes with you know, this chaos res ring. Now granted, it just has the, you know, the baseline that an amethyst ring would have. Got some more chaos resist on this. This is the same body armor I was using on my Molten Strike character. Running southbound, have just an crafted elemental damage to attack, strength, and life, mana, double resist. Not great Stygian Vice, but it is a Stygian Vice. I have, you know, the fire damage, and fire damage with claw attacks is very important for Trinity. So I have that on this, and I also have some added fire damage to attacks on my blue one as well. I am running a blue unique and rare jewel so that I can get all 3 benefits from Bubonic Trail. This isn't the best rolled Bubonic Trail either, which is the last piece I haven't gone over. Link's Blood Rage, which I don't really use anymore, so I'm not really sure why it's here still, but yeah, I'll just pop that out for now. I get Frenzy Charge generation through other means now, and the Leech isn't really valuable. Precision, Steel Skin, Grace. I have Herald of Ash and Herald of Ice, which are my only defensive or offensive, and Herald of Ash gives me very little offensive capability, but right now my margins for proccing Trinity are very low, so I need every little bit. I can pop that out at some point and replace it with you know, something else if I can get just a little bit more fire damage. I have Power Charge on crit socketed in here. Originally I was using the Trigger Lightning Bolt on crit from the crafting bench with Power Charge on crit support in order to help maintain power charges. I have a really hard time maintaining power charges, not being a trickster, with just the Assassin's Mark quality, because I don't get that plus 200% charge time. I could go down and grab this, but I would have to, there's no way I could fit in a cluster jewel and do that as well. Whereas right now I have extra points that I could get rid of for a cluster jewel. And yeah, I'm only going to get 8 more points from leveling as well. Probably not even, because, you know, assuming I don't go to 100. Frostblades, Inspiration. This was Rage support before I got the Veteran's Wrath anointed onto my amulet. Ice Bite, Multi-Strike, Nightblade, and Trinity, so pretty standard stuff for the most part. Whirling Blades, faster attacks, momentum. I should quality all these. Frost Blink and Bone Chill. I can't get Frost Blink, unfortunately, to level 20. I already have int problems. You know, I want the extra cooldown recovery rate from having it higher level, but just can't make it happen right now. Mark on hit, life tap, Assassin's Mark. And that's pretty much the gem setup. If I had an offensive, like if I put in anger instead, which wouldn't be too bad of an idea, I could also fit it in more easily by using something like, say, the new, I got a decent Venter's Gamble here, which has 10% mana reservation efficiency, an all positive one. So I could like slot this in, for instance, over something. I'd lose more life, which I'm already a little low on. But I could do that and pop out the Herald of Ash and put in Anger. And then I could replace all the fire damage with attacks with cold damage with attacks on my Murderous Eye Jewels. So that's one thing I could potentially do. And at that point, I assume I'd be able to keep Trendy up and I'd do a lot more damage. Once I get a physical claw, because this is tri-LE attack speed and crit chance. I don't know if I went over that yet. But once I get a full physical claw, then I'll be able to run Hatred. And full physical is definitely the way you want to go now, in the end game especially. It was already marginally better in the end game. But now that there's no flat damage on Frostblades, and that Hatred scales exclusively with physical damage, it's in the long run definitely going to be the way to go. I just don't have a physical claw, and they're pretty expensive. Currently I'm saving up for a yoke. I'm pretty close to being able to get one. I think they're 7 divine right now. I could probably liquidate some stuff and get a divine pretty easily. And once I have that, I can start working on incrementally improving the rest of my gear, including working towards getting a Fizz Claw of similar quality in terms of attack speed and crit chance. The base crit chance boost to claws is really nice, and that combined with Nightblade and Assassin's Mark is really strong. So Frostblades overall is looking really good, but let's talk about Warden. So Warden, it's in a good spot in the tree, like both the area in between Ranger and Shadow and the area between Ranger and Slayer, or sorry, Ranger and Duelist, are incredible spots to be on the tree. Really, really nice. And yeah, there's just tons of good stuff around here. Currently, I'm having to take, you know, these 2 intelligence nodes, which is a little unfortunate. And I think that's it, actually. But I have, you know, extra intelligence and stuff on gear because of the requirement for that for Frostblink. And I don't really want to get rid of Frostblink. It's one of my favorite things to do. As far as the setup, I got Oath of Winter first, which helped freeze bosses in the campaign, which was useful because I equipped Heat Shiver right away at level 20, so that increased my damage considerably. Then I got Avatar of the Wilds. Then I got Barkskin, Mother's Teachings. Barkskin felt really good in the last part of the campaign and in early maps, but you can definitely feel it fall off in about probably yellow to early red maps. Even, you know, we got some physical mitigation, but you would need a fairly significant amount for Barkskin to hold up, because it does, the minus flat physical damage you take does come at the end of all of like the damage calculation, so it'll take into account like your armor, your additional physical damage reduction, your phys taken as elemental, all of that before it calculates that. But you need to get a good amount of that going before the amount that you get, which is 300 at 10 stacks, is going to be enough to mitigate like end game hits. And then I have Oath of Spring, which I will change over to Oath of Summer at some point. And by at some point, I mean when I get Yoke. But this is basically my temporary Yoke. I tried Oath of Summer early. First of all, I didn't have enough effective non-damaging ailments and enough damage to make it work. So I was getting like 2-6% Scorches, which is pitiful. You're much better off at that point going for the hits have a 25% chance to treat enemy monster elemental resistance values as inverted, and you do not want to do both, because then you will just randomly make monsters stronger by inverting. So, because especially if you're getting two large Scorches, because Scorch lowers their elemental resistance. So let's say it's a regular map boss, they have 40 LE resist, you lower it by 60. When the invert procs, that'll go up to, it'll go from negative 20 to 20 again. So you're actually doing less damage by a decent amount. So Treewise, I'm currently working towards more health. I need to get tankier. I would like to take the 15% increased maximum life if there's no life modifiers on equipped body armor. So I want to get just a pure armor and evasion prefix body armor, and then take that, because at the stage I'm at right now, the percent life is going to be a lot more, especially when I get much higher life on the belt and on this other ring. Just because life rolls can go so high now. So once I get a few more pieces of high life, plus I get jewels that have life on them as well, then I will be able to make all those changes. Right now, once I get my cluster jewel, I can get out of a lot of this stuff. Well, specifically these 4 points up here. I'm going to try to get int on my cluster jewels, so hopefully at least one of these int nodes I'll be able to get rid of, so that'll free up some points. The cluster jewels are going to be a lot more efficient than the points leading up to Claws of the Magpie, so that's another 4 points there. So I'm probably looking at about 10 points freed up when I get my cluster jewel. So, the 2 points to get there, the 3rd point to place it. And that should be enough to get me a couple more jewel slots and everything going like that. And one of those jewel slots I'll probably just dedicate to giving me a bunch of intelligence if possible. So that is that setup. Yeah, there's nothing too different, honestly, from the Frostblade's Trickster in this tree. Oh yeah, I don't really need this aspect of the links. Either. The endurance charge on kill is nice, so maybe it is worth keeping just to keep my deaths and maps around. But if I can find other means of creating endurance charges, that might be a better way to go. Currently I'm only in Winter Spirit because it gives a double damage. Otherwise I'd be in Flash Freeze, or maybe even just considering Fangs of Frost instead. But as it stands, the 5% chance to deal double damage makes this worth it. You can definitely see when the inversion of elemental resistances and the double damage lines up. That's how I went from doing maybe 3% damage to a rare to doing 3/4 of its health in one shot. That's just when those two kind of converge, and I also have a freeze. So all of that kind of combines for these huge bits of burst damage. But once I get the Scorch going, it'll just be a lot more consistent damage. But I do need to make sure that I can get the maximum amount on most things for it to be worth it. Otherwise, the inversion's just better. I calculated the exact point, but I think it's just over 20 on your Scorches. Actually, I think it's higher than that. I think it's close to 25 on your Scorches before it's better, but I don't remember exactly. I probably should have written that down. Yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say. I do miss the Trickster a lot, but I do think Warden has a lot of value. I would have loved to play Warden for my Molten Striker, just because I'm thinking about how fast I could have stacked up Oath of Spring with all of the Molten Shell Balls, and I could have gotten to 100% increased damage taken so quick. A lot of times right now I'm at 30 to 36, but yeah, on Molten Strike that would have been really nice to be able to stack that up. Alright, so got all of that. I think I don't even know what my Pantheon is. Sometimes people ask me for that. I don't even think I've changed this since the campaign. I think I just threw these on and forgot about it. So I'll have to work out what I'm doing with my Pantheon and set that up. Yeah, it's been fun, but I do miss Trickster. So maybe if I League start solo self-found a little later on, like maybe in a couple weeks here, I will just do a good old-fashioned Frostblade Trickster, and if I do that, I will let you all know how it goes. Hope you're enjoying the League so far. I'm feeling a lot better than I was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some more of this and trying to figure out what my next build is. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Bye.